Timeless 106.1 FM KFFB. This is Bob Connell, and we do have Congressman French Hill giving us an update. And Congressman, thanks so much for talking with us.
Bob, it's great to be back with you.
Well, there's been so much information going on. I know the CARES Act, we do an update every day with the governor. One thing, though, French, our website and our news team here has done an awesome job. We have been providing active cases of the coronavirus since April 25th. And we've been wondering, why is our website getting hit so hard, and also Facebook? Well, come to find out, we're the only one giving those numbers, and the governor talked about that today. So that's changing a little bit of what's going on.
Well, we all feel blessed here in Arkansas that we've had Arkansans working together to prevent the spread. We've isolated the spread, as you know, tragically in some of our nursing homes. But I think the governor's done a fine job in educating the populace and keep us up to date on what we can do to prevent the spread and work quickly and safely to get back to work.
And that's why I think the active numbers are very important, because those are non-recovered so far. And that's something we're kind of seeing, those numbers going down smaller all the time. And that's good news for Arkansas.
It is good news. And look, we want to do it safely. I'm completely understand people's concern about this. And so the governor's equally concerned. But he'll work to follow the statistics, just as you've gone over, and follow where they lead. And we'll be slowly opening up and getting people back out doing what they need to do to make a living for their families.
One of the biggest piece of legislation probably in the history of America was the CARES Act. Reached out to colleges, and I thought we could expand on that a little bit, because there's been some misunderstanding what that's all about.
Well, it's important. The CARES Act was over $2 trillion, and as you say, it has direct assistance to our states and our local governments to the tune of about $700 billion. And for higher education for our colleges, about $120 million will come to Arkansas, to our colleges here, including, for example, like $3.3 million for Harding, or $2 million for Arkansas State at Beebe, just to name two. But it's also important, Bob, to recognize that about $60 million is coming to Arkansas students who are going to get that money directly. And to just pick those same schools, for example, ASU at Beebe, $1.1 million will go to students at ASU Beebe. At Harding, $1.6 million. And this is just to help those students deal with the expenses at the end of the year and changing aspects of their education due to the coronavirus.
And then we also seen the support of the healthcare, which that is another issue that we were all kind of sitting back and kind of learning that the coronavirus was bad for hospitals, really, economically.
Terrible. I mean, we asked the hospitals to shut down elective procedures to save PPE, personal protective equipment, and not really to stop the spread of COVID. That was not the challenge. It was to stop the use of personal protective equipment in case we had a huge surge in cases of COVID. So the hospitals have taken it on the chin, losing millions of dollars. So the CARES Act has provided over $500 million worth of money to Arkansas hospitals. That's an amazing amount of money, and it's meant to partially offset that revenue collapse that we experienced in March, April, and now in early May.
Now, another thing people have been wondering, we hear it on the national news talking about Congress going back to work. And what is going on here? Why is the Senate went and then the House has been sitting back and waiting? What's going to happen there?
Well, the Senate's been in session for 2 weeks working. I've urged Speaker Pelosi to put us back in regular work. We need to be on the front line of working together as Democrats and Republicans, but she has not done that. Speaker Pelosi has announced suddenly a 1,800-page bill with $3 trillion, that's with a T, $3 trillion of new spending that she wants us to read and vote on this coming Friday morning. So I'm going to head back to Washington early Thursday, and there's been no bipartisan input to this bill, no input from the U.S. Senate in this bill. So I really don't know what her mission is.
Okay, that's a little big number there. That is bigger than the CARES Act?
Bigger than the CARES Act. Look, let me summarize this. We've already passed $2.7 trillion in spending. That's about 60% of what we spend in America every year on the total federal government, from aircraft carriers to national parks to public education. She's now asking us to spend another $3 trillion when we haven't even completed distributing, assessing, or analyzing the $2.7 trillion we just passed at the end of March. That's why I don't understand why she's rushing and demanding this very partisan bill when we've had such a overwhelmingly bipartisan approach to CARES and the other things we've done together to fight the virus and try to get our economy back to full capacity.
So you're going to be flying in on Thursday?
I'm going to go, yes, I will go to Washington Thursday afternoon, and this debate and this vote is likely to be on Friday.
Okay, now the big question a lot of folks want to know, we found out something about you. We've talked so much during the COVID that you're French, but you're actually Irish, and we kind of like that. But a lot of folks kind of ask me, says, well, ask French, where did he go eat? We want to know where he went to eat when the restaurants opened up there in Little Rock.
Well, very good question. I have to tell you, I have to start out with a disappointing story because my favorite place in the morning for coffee and reflection is Waffle House by my house. So I went to Waffle House early this morning and it was still closed. And I want to tell you, I had childhood tears in my eyes when I found that I couldn't get in Waffle House this morning for my two sunny side up with dry raisin toast, grits, and bacon. So we're going to Tzatziki's. We love Tzatziki's, which is a great restaurant here in Little Rock, Greek restaurant. That's where we headed when the restaurants opened. They've been doing a great takeout business, too.
Well, that is true. I know Arkansans are ready to go back to work. We've done a good job of the social distancing, washing hands, and wearing our face mask. I actually wore a face mask first time I was out of the studio, so that was kind of neat to go and use my face mask.
Well, look, we want people to follow those CDC standards. If you're around people you don't know, you're in a big crowd, you're going to church, you're going to Walmart to shop, face mask is not a bad idea. And wash your hands, take some Purell with you, because this disease can still pass around easily and quickly between folks, and we want to limit that here in Arkansas. And if everybody follows the CDC standards, we'll be back to working, and maybe the worst will be behind us, and we can just count our prayers on that and all try to work together for a great outcome.
French, we want to hear the latest when you do get to D.C. and give us an update as well.
You bet. Thanks for having me, Bob.